friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Monday, June 19th, Juneteenth. Hope that you are having a day off and that you are thinking about our fucked up country. And if you deserve to be celebrating, that you're celebrating. Thank you for being here with me on this Monday of Pride Month as well. A lot to celebrate. I'm going to be doing on the World Girls at 4:30. I'm going to be going live for the patrons on the World Girls, so join me there. That will be more of a just celebration slash enjoyment stream. What are the words that won't come to me right now? Like celebration slash enjoyment stream. What is that clear? Now you know exactly what I'm doing. Last night we did a entire flash review, a 2-hour flash review for DC Movie News. We did a whole reunion. It was fucking awesome. I was so happy to see Mike and Johnny and Adam and Ryan and have everybody back here. It was dope. Today, there's more that I want to talk about with The Flash because we didn't get to focus much on the box office last night, and this movie is not performing well, and I want to talk to you guys about that. Plus, I saw another movie this weekend that I haven't been able to talk to you guys about. I only put out a little tweet about it, and that is Elemental, which is my favorite movie of the year so far. Okay, this is the weirdest thing. You guys know, if you've been a follower of mine for a long time, you know I always talk about how animated seems to not hit with me as often. I don't watch as many animated shows, but my childhood screams animated, Disney Princess, all those movies. And last year, or 2 years ago, whatever it was, 2 years ago, my favorite movie of the year was Encanto. Last year, my favorite movie of the year was Marcel the Shell. This year, so far, my favorite movie of the year is Elemental. So the animated genre continues to slap. And I think the reason why, when it's at its best, it's so incredible, is just because it can do shit that you can't do in live action movies. And what they were able to do in Elemental, which I'll talk about, no spoilers, but I'm going to do a non-spoiler Elemental review today, is just so unique. And even if you look at Encanto, and if you look at Marcel the Shell could never be done live action. I mean, I know that there were elements of it that were live action, but like, we're talking about a goddamn fucking shell. Same thing with Elemental. Like, the way that it was, it's just the universe they created. The premise is that we're dealing with the Earth's elements, and it's an immigration allegory and a mixed relationship, themes of mixed relationships and mixed friendships and families that have immigrated. And it's like, you're dealing with fire and water, and do they mix and whatnot. And it's just so poignant. So you could tell stories with a similar theme in live action, but not the way that they tell it, and not making it accessible necessarily for children, while also making it so wise. It's so, so, so good. So this year, so far, my favorite movie of the year had been Air, which I loved. And then after Air, I think maybe Spider-Verse edged out Flash, but they're pretty close. I loved them both. I think Spider-Verse I prefer in the long run more, but both pretty good. But Air was still my favorite. And now Elemental edges them all out. It just was so, so good. So I will give a review on that. Plus, again, talking about the Flash box office, plus whatever it is you guys want to talk about. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Super chat in. Get in your thoughts, your questions, comments, concerns. We are not here for a long time, but a good time. I said aight. And thank you to everybody who is already in here joining us for the show. Also, thank you to everybody who watched last night. We went almost to midnight on the West Coast for our Flash reunion, and it was so fucking cool to see you guys show up for that. So thank you for being there. We also got Mike Joyce in the Streamlabs right now. What's up, Mike? Massive support, Mike. He says, I loved Elemental. I teared up when, I don't know if I'm gonna read this because, oh no, it's not spoiler. You didn't say exactly what happened. I teared up when Ember played the crying game at the end. I don't think that's ever happened to me during an animated movie before. Wow, interesting. Yeah, so it's not a spoiler because you guys don't have any idea what we're talking about, but I thought that was a really powerful part. And again, I'll give my whole review, but there was a lot of moments in which I teared up. The one that really got me though was the final callback, which I can't say what it is, but it's a father-daughter moment. And I was like, mwah, brilliant, beautiful storytelling. Just and cool that I saw it Father's Day weekend. By the way, for those of you guys who had difficult yesterdays, how you doing? Did the day pass and you're doing okay? God, it's so crazy at Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's like if you got a great relationship with a living parent, Mother's Day and Father's Day can be fucking awesome. And if you have a shit relationship with a living parent and or you're unable to be with the living parent and or you don't have the living parent, it just is like bleh, bleh. I did this thing on Instagram yesterday that I thought was funny where I told people because I always try to mix it up on Mother's and Father's Day. So it's not just about like, look at me and my dad, look how great our relationship is. Cause just, I don't want to fucking rub it in the face. And I don't feel on Mother's Day when people post with their moms, I love seeing it. But sometimes it can be a lot when you're going through Instagram and it's like every single picture is somebody with their dad. It's like if you don't have your dad, if you recently lost your dad, it can be a really fucking tough time. So I was like, okay, well, let's do this thing where you text anybody you've ever fucked and you say, Happy Father's Day, Daddy, and see how it goes. Yo, the responses I got to this were as if I had done something fucking horrific. Let's see if I can actually pull them up. I didn't post some of these, but I was like, y'all can't take a joke sometimes. And so I get it. Everybody's got their own sensitive issues, but like, come on. Okay, let's see. So some of these responses were funny. This person said, that's a really shitty idea. I can't have kids. I only found out in the last few years. You can't just do that to someone. Baby, it's a joke. Everybody has their own baggage. Everybody has their own trauma. This is not a personal attack on you. I'm so sorry that you cannot have kids. I'm unclear if I can either. This was so not meant. It's just a fucking joke. It's a joke, not aimed at anybody, not malicious. Just come on. Okay. This person wrote, fuck you for this. Somebody else wrote, oh my God, this is so incredibly fucked up. Let's see. A lot of people saying that they are virgins. Some people saying they're virgins so they couldn't text anybody. Other people saying they're virgins so this wasn't a fun game. It's like, slow your roll. If this isn't for you, keep it pushing. Keep it put. You don't have to play. You don't have to play my evil game. Let me enjoy my life. Here I am out here just trying to make Father's Day a little fun for the people who maybe it's not so fun for. Give it a little bit of a fresh take. I did this on Valentine's Day, if you guys remember, and had people text their exes on Valentine's Day, and that one turned out really well and was fucking hysterical. And so I'm gonna keep it going for all the holidays. One of the problems I've realized though is that on TikTok, I literally have 50-50 male female audience. On Instagram, I have significantly more male followers. And this was really requiring my she's and my gays to show up. And unfortunately, none of my people that could be texting dudes, Danny, happy Father's Day, were writing back to me. So instead, it was a bunch of butthurt people. I was bummed by that. Oh, yeah. April Fools would be a good one, too. Good reminder. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Get in your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts. Did you see Elemental? What do you think about The Flash? I'm going to go ahead and say bombing at the box office. It's not a fully fair term, but not doing well. Let's start with that. Let's start with The Flash. So here's the deal. We all knew that The Flash was going to be something we were keeping an eye on because who knew if it was going to do well or not. The week before it opened, with all the buzz that had happened at CinemaCon and all the reviews that I saw being pretty positive, maybe 2 weeks before it opened, I did a show for for The Big Thing with Christian Harloff, and Chris Carr came on. And Christian asked us, Do you think this movie will lose money, break even, or make money? And I remember Chris Carr said, I think this movie's going to lose money. And I was like, girl, are you silly? You think The Flash, which people are saying is one of the greatest comic book movies ever, you think The Flash is going to lose money? And she was like, yeah, I do. Now, I remember she said she thought a lot of it was going to be about the Ezra drama. I don't actually think that's what's happening here, but she thought that it was going to lose money. And I was like, this is going to make a ton of money. The Flash is going to do so well. I said I thought that Into the Spider-Verse was going to do better initially, but that The Flash was going to do super fucking well. And it was going to be like, blockbuster summer movie. Bring us the money, honey. Let's go. I thought it was possible it was going to make $1 billion, but I think I predicted it at 750. Looks like your girl was super wrong. Like this girl. Super duper fucking wrong. This movie is not doing well. We will see if it even breaks even. So this is coming from Collider. After numerous days, controversies, recasting, recrewing, and more, DC Studios' The Flash is finally making its way into theaters and is expected to rake in big box office numbers almost as fast as Barry Allen can run following the film's premiere at CinemaCon 2023. Things have gotten off to a pretty good start with what's being called DCEU's swan song, even though they still have Aquaman and Lost Kingdom coming later this year. Reviews for the film have been skewing positive, but generally fairly mixed, with the consensus being that The Flash is fun, but lacks a compelling time travel narrative. I don't agree with that. The early buzz seemed to get the ball rolling on some solid early projections, but now those seem debunked following a disappointing opening weekend and increasingly poor reviews. The Flash is fascinating and unique position in terms of the industry. It's releasing in the midst of a historic writer's strike. It's being touted by those close to DC Studios as both a conclusion to the DCEU and a starting point for James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU, and also may very well decide the future of the controversial star Ezra Miller in the winged boots of The Flash. These factors and more have led to a considerable budget for the film. To learn more about the budget, box office, and breaks it down. Okay, so let's see. That didn't give us all the information that I was hoping that it would give us. Budget for a big budget superhero like The Flash. Let's see. It's like Collider, my babes. I used to be there. Can you guys please do? And they are right. They did give a lot of background of why some of this might be happening, but like share your numbers at the top. Flash disappoints with 55 million. Thank you, Variety. 55 million debut. Pixar's Elemental flops with 29.5 million. That's egregious, and we have to rectify that. So 55 million. Okay, worse the price endeavors costing 200 million to make a roughly $100 million market. So they're shaping up to be a huge disappointment in theatrical run. 55 million opening for The Flash. It's not good, kids. It's not good. It's like, if this movie doesn't make $500 million, $450 million, they don't break even on it because of the $200 million movie and the marketing, which I'm thinking is probably the same as that. I mean, you have to at least make 400 mil to be in consideration to make your money back on a movie like this. With a 55 million opening, unless this substantially picks up for season 2, this movie is severely at risk. I don't think it's really because of the Ezra of it all, but Adam Gertler made a good point last night that the Ezra situation does cause critics and people in the industry to sour on the movie, and people in the industry not talking about this movie, not pushing it out the same way that we saw during CinemaCon might be what is causing for this slump. But like, as I've told you guys, when I ask my grandparents, they don't know who Ezra Miller is. When I ask my sister, she doesn't know who Ezra Miller is. Like, most people don't even know. Not only do they not know what they have done, but they don't even know who they are. So it's like, I doubt it's really that. The DC of it all is confusing too, because we've heard that Blue Beetle is going to be the first character in James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU. However, it's not going to be the first movie. The first movie is going to be Superman, and that means that Aquaman doesn't seem to be involved in either of those things, but Blue Beetle comes out before Aquaman, so that's confusing in one itself. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see what's going on. Daniel says, couple of questions. When will I be able to watch Always Lola? I think in August. I'll keep you guys posted. And what do you think about tickling as a fetish? Interesting. Why? I'm curious why so many people come here and ask me this. Or is it the same person under different names? I personally don't like being tickled, but I have an ex who is really into tickling, and there's tons of people who are into being tickled. Uh, do you. If you don't like it, then it's not for you. And if you do, then it is. It's so funny. People ask me, what do you think about it? It's like the same thing I think about anything that's not harming anybody. You do you. Ash in the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, I don't have any thoughts, but I found $5 in my car today. Thanks, Ash. What do you think you left it there for? I'm glad nobody broke into your car to get it. If you leave cash out in your car in LA, your car will get broken into. Smash and grab. And boy, oh boy, is it happening very often here. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What do you guys think about this box office? Do you think that Flash is going to make its money back or make money, or do you think that it's going to take a major hit? If Flash had made $1 billion, would they even have moved forward with Ezra? I don't think so necessarily, because it seems like Gunn and Safran know what they want to do. And logistically, it doesn't feel like this version of the Flash or Ezra Miller's Flash fits into James Gunn and Peter Safran's forward momentum of Brave and the Bold, Superman with the new Superman, or any of those things. It just doesn't seem like we're going to see much more of Ezra. The big bummer for me, I mean, of course, I want to see more Keaton and Batfleck and everything that we saw in this movie, but the biggest bummer to lose is Sasha Kaye, because this is the first that we're seeing her as Supergirl, and probably the last we're seeing her as Supergirl, unless they pick and choose and they take her with them, which I think will cause a huge controversy over who they picked and who they didn't pick. Like, why did you guys then not take Ezra? And then and just causes a lot of issues. But I kind of hope that, I just wish that Sasha Kaye wasn't wasted in one time. Not wasted, but it's one time. And she was so good. So good. I want a Supergirl movie with Sasha Kaye. I do. That's what I want. Truthfully. And how does Blue Beetle play into all of this? I want to keep talking about the Flash with you guys if you want to talk about the Flash, so please send in your Streamlabs and Super Chats about it. But I also really want to talk about Elemental. And by a show of people in the chat, please let me know if you've seen Elemental. So write in the chat if you have seen Elemental. I want to know. I kind of went to this movie on a whim. Here's what happened. On Friday, I taped Only Stupid Answers with DJ Wooldridge. We were live on the show. And DJ asked me, Rox, did you see Elemental? I said, no. He said, you have to go. This is a rom-com. This is a Pixar rom-com. And it is, as a lover of love, shipper of ships, you are going to love this movie. And I was like, wow, I haven't heard anybody talk about Elemental. Not one person. None of my critic friends. Nobody. You're the first person I'm even hearing mention it. I was back in Boston during the screening. I haven't heard a soul, not a peep. So then I went for high tea on Saturday with my girl Ritza, and it was fucking amazing. We were having so much fun. And in the middle of it, I get a text from my friend Anya, and she said, and she's in LA right now, and she's leaving this week. So she was like, are you free tonight? And I was like, yeah, I just heard good things about this movie, Elemental. Any chance you want to go? So we decided that night to just go to, at the Grove, we went to a screening of Elemental. It was like, there's almost 15 times it didn't happen. And we just kind of were like, all right, fuck it, let's go. The screening was almost sold out. I mean, it was a jam-packed theater. It kind of makes sense. Father's Day weekend, I guess people taking their kids to the movie. There was a lot of kids in there, which was really fun. So it was like the short beforehand is amazing. But we're about 2 seconds into the movie where, when you just feel like a movie has so much confidence and you're like, fuck, this movie's going to be great. Fuck, during a Pixar movie. I'm watching it in about, I think we're maybe a minute and a half in, and I turned to Anya and I'm like, oh yeah. Like, it's on like Donkey Kong. Let's go. This movie is about to be fire. And I'm going to say every 5 minutes, I was reminded, holy shit, this movie's amazing. Like, I kept being like, woo, whoa, yes. The themes of interracial marriages, which again is through this is or relationships is showed through fire and water and earth and wind, because it's elements. Immigration, generations of immigration, how we treat our neighbors, how we treat each other. The themes of this movie were so strong without being obnoxious, and it was also wildly entertaining. It was the coolest visual. It might be the coolest Pixar movie I've ever seen, visually speaking. Like the way that people love how Coco looks is how I do like Coco. Is how I felt about how this looks though. I was just like, look at this fucking city they've created. Element City, like holy shit, this thing is unbelievable. I'm looking in the chat and it doesn't seem like any of you guys. Okay, MK Songbird saw and enjoyed Elemental. Melissa didn't even know Elemental came out. Yeah, Mike Joyce loved it because it was fucking fire. Bruce said, I saw Elemental, I liked it okay. Just okay? No way. I can't imagine seeing this movie and feeling like it was okay. To me, it was like unreal. It reminded you of Zootopia. Did you like Zootopia? Track stars loved Elemental. I just loved it. I loved the rom-com angle. I love how smart they use their characters in like such brilliant ways. There's twists and turns that are like, wow, that was so clever. You wonder like, how the fuck does Pete Docter do this shit? Like, how do you come up with this story? It's got to be weed, man. It's got to be. Oh my God, Dan didn't like it? How? This movie it's the best movie of the year so far. It is so good. It is so beautifully done. I just loved it. And I love the love. And I love the movie. It's just amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so weird because I love The Flash. And then the more I was talking about it, the more like some issues or whatever came up. Elemental, I don't want to stop talking about it. I just want to keep talking about it. I don't ever want to stop talking about Elemental. I want to rewatch it immediately. I want to watch it now. James says, saw it and loved it. I wish it was a series so that I could keep living in the world. Oh my God, James. Imagine if they made an Elemental series. I would live for it. Listen, Dan said it was too on the nose. Dan, what? No, it wasn't. It was fucking joyful, perfect, accurate. Like the way that they depict microaggressions in this, I was like, yup. Like louder for the people in the back. That's like fucking genius. I thought it was brilliant. Truly brilliant. Bryce is going for a second time on Wednesday. I want to go. I want to go for a second time so badly. Oh my God. Mike says the flower scene, if you know, you know. Incredible. It was really, really, really incredible. If you haven't seen Elemental yet, I can't recommend it enough. Please go see it. I need this movie to do well so they continue to make movies like this. Also, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider, super chat in, support the show, support me doing more live at the Roxy's. I've been doing less and less because this is a fan-funded platform, and it seems like maybe y'all are going through it recently, which I fucking feel you. How are we going to manage to stay afloat? We're just going to do the best we can. The me's and the you's of the world, the little people, stick it to the man. What the fuck, Zaslav? How do you exist? In the Streamlabs, like I said, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. Appreciate those of you who have made the trip over to Streamlabs City today. Thank you for stopping by. Mark Jason Ali says, hey, Roxy, it's been a while since I've been here live. Been busy. Been writing again, too. Yay. How are you? The Flash is going to fail. It's a fine film. Not great. Definitely not the best movie ever. Elemental is fantastic. I hope to be back more. How's your family? Wow. Mark, you saw Elemental and The Flash already? Damn. You're getting to work like I am. It's crazy how many movies, if like just in the summer, they just keep rolling. I'm seeing Indy tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how that is. And then on Thursday, no, I'm seeing Indy tomorrow. And the next Tuesday, I see Mission Impossible. And I reached out today about Barbie. I know it's far off, but the Barbie Oppenheimer showdown is the showdown of the summer. Like, need to see them both. Oh no, Jamal says we sinking, Roxy. How are you sinking? Don't sink. Oh, because we sink in because society's fucking broken. Yeah, I feel you. You know what actually makes me feel a lot better is my therapist keeps acknowledging how fucked up these times are. And I'm like, see, if my therapist thinks that this is the most fucked up time, then yep. Oh, Melissa, you're watching No Hard Feelings on Tuesday. I want to see that too. I want to see that. Also, who's with me that you spent this weekend binging Black Mirror? I've seen the first three. I've been waiting for Black Mirror. I didn't even realize it came back until I think on Friday I found out on Only Stupid Answers. It's like one of my favorite shows ever. So I'm super into it so far. When I finish it, I'll do a review for you guys on Black Mirror. I also finished The Great. They did an awesome job closing out that show. What else have I been watching? Lock Henry is so creepy. Yes, Melissa. Yes. Just so much yes. So fucking creepy. Um, yeah. Are you guys Black Mirror stands like I am? Bruce needs to watch. Right. Bryce, yeah, Never Have I Ever was awesome. It was so great. You got to catch up. You know what's the least relatable show of all time? This season of The Kardashians. Okay, hear me out. Here's what's happening. This is legitimately what's happening on The Kardashians. You don't have to know anything about The Kardashians for me to tell you about this. I never watched a single episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. For work, I had to start watching the show The Kardashians at some point, and then now I haven't stopped because I guess I'm a tortured soul. Oh my God. This is genuinely what the big fight of this season has been so far. This is the season-long arc. Kourtney Kardashian, who is married to Travis Barker. Kourtney and Travis had a wedding last season that Dolce & Gabbana did all the outfits for. I guess Kourtney and Travis summer with Dolce & Gabbana every summer, and they did all the designs and outfits for their wedding. This season, Dolce & Gabbana have paired with Kim Kardashian to do a Kim x Dolce & Gabbana line. Kim said yes. Kourtney is livid and devastated because how dare Kim work with Dolce & Gabbana so soon after her wedding? And how dare Kim put a paycheck before the feelings of her? I don't know whether they believe that this is relatable content or not, but never in my life have I related less or cared less about an argument ever. And I'm not somebody who sits here and just consistently throws shade at the Kardashians because, of course, they've done some fucked up things. There's also been some cool things that have happened with the Kardashians. Whatever, they exist. But for 4 episodes to focus on this siblings fighting over designers, I I'm like fucking baffled. What is happening? John Perlow says Secret Invasion this week. I watched the first 2 episodes of Secret Invasion, and I guess let me know if you guys want to know my thoughts on that. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Questions, comments, concerns. Only here for about 2 more minutes. Then I'm going to jump over to my Patreon live stream for the Whirl Girls. Yep. And that's that. Jamal says this has to be sponsored by Dolce & Gabbana. I don't know. I don't get it. The way that they're pissed at each other, it's just like, here are problems. You can't pay rent. You're struggling to put a roof over your children's heads. You're not safe. There's more problems than that. But those are things that I'm like, wow, yeah, those are problems. The designer that designed your dress for your wedding, your sister is doing a design with them, and that's fucked up. Like, what are these problems? These are not real problems. It's not even a problem. I don't even understand the problem. I don't even know enough to know what the problem is. And that's that. All right. So that's that for the show today. Okay. If you have any other questions or concerns before I get out of here, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, super chat in. Otherwise, I am going to leave. Like I said, I'm going over to Patreon for the World Girls to do a half-hour hangout. We're going to talk Pride Month, Juneteenth. By the way, you know how we don't like when people say like Happy Yom Kippur because it's like not a happy fucking day. It's the Day of Atonement and stuff. I don't know and obviously Juneteenth is a celebration of, but it's like something that we shouldn't even have to have had celebrated because we should have never done whatever, however you want to phrase it. What do we say on Juneteenth? Somebody tell me. Like what's the best way to acknowledge Juneteenth? Clearly my little white ass doesn't have the answers for this. So somebody tell me what's the best way to acknowledge Juneteenth other than to just acknowledge that it is Juneteenth. Let me know. Also, now accepting all invitations to the cookout because would really like to attend. Promise to bring ice and booze. Word. Okay. Oh fuck, what's even in my eye right now? I want to go fix that. Much love. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those flumes. Don't turn with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you are on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. And Golden Sparkles, the Zen one himself, Zen Glenn. So much love to you. Thinking about you every day. Seriously, every day. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. This week, tomorrow I'm taping Real Rejects. Wednesday, I'm doing the big thing, which I think you guys see Thursday. Friday, I do only stupid answers. I'll be back here also throughout the week. We got lots to do. Lots and lots to do. All right. Later.